Hello, today we're going to show you how to set up and run a plantation louver on a single head planer molder. This is done in 3 easy steps. First, we're going to run the tray. Second, we're going to set up and run the first side, and then we're going to install the tray and run the second side. So now we have the machine unplugged, cover off, and we're just adjusting to set up for our first run. So we're just going to, see this knife is movable from side to side. By the way, I've left my tray knife in there, and I put that in a different slot, even though they each have a balance kit behind each knife. I find it does cause less vibration, balances out a little better. So we're just going to slide this by eye to where I think it needs to be. Going to lock it in place, and then we're going to make sure this is in there tight. You don't have to over tighten it, but make sure there's enough torque on there so that the knife isn't going to come out. Okay, so I have to lower that. The other thing about the planer molder, most planer molders, one complete turn is 1/16 of an inch. A lot of people complain that planer molders don't have very accurate gauges on them. Some do, some don't. I'm not going to get into which brands do and don't. But once you get used to it, you'll get a feel for the machine, whichever brand of machine you have. And on this one, it's 1/16 of an inch per complete turn. So I have to crank that down. I've already counted it. I have to crank that down 8 turns to get to where I want to be. Okay, now we're well into step number 2. We've done our setup. We're ready to run our first piece. Now, you often will have to run a sample piece first. Hopefully we'll get it on the first try here. If not, we'll reset it again. It's just a matter of fine-tuning and adjustment from side to side. So okay, so it looks like we have a decent amount of shoulder on either side, so that's good. On the sides here, enough. It's not perfectly centered, but it's definitely passable. We have our contour on the top, and we're down halfway, or possibly just past our halfway point where we want to be. So we'll try our second pass, or actually step number 3 here. Shut everything down, unplug it, and put the tray in. Alright, so I'm going to measure from the wall of the machine to the guide. It's always good to measure off the wall as opposed to the bed, especially if you're using a bed board, because it may not be 90 degrees to the head, but the wall of the machine has to be 90 degrees to the head in order for it to run properly. So I'm just measuring off the wall here. Okay, and the important thing is to get it so the wood is going through straight. If it's at all on an angle, it will bind the wood, and first and foremost can be a safety issue, and then second will be a quality of cut issue on your wood. Put my guide in. Now that I know that's straight, I can just simply move the other guide over. By the way, using a tray is the same type of method you use when you're running a handrail in a single head planer molder. If you don't have a shaper to run your handrail, this is a great way to run it on a planer molder with the proper tray. Okay, now that we have the tray set up, we're ready to finish off our third step, final step in the process, and which is profiling the second side of the louver. There you have it, finished louver.